Mr. Allard's Neighborhood. Small town feel with big time ideas. After all, you are entitled to Brad's opinion. Here's your host, Brad Allard.
Josh, there he is, the sound. Okay, good. Okay. Well, we have Jennifer Woods here from the Harvest House, and she's going to tell us all about what's going on for the rest of the summer and into the fall. And I believe you have an event in November. You also have a program going on right now. I believe, is that program?
Kicking off next Friday.
Next Friday. That's what I thought, yeah.
Our campaign. I'm excited about it.
Yeah, you got all sorts of things. You probably want to scoot just a little bit.
Yeah, I'm going to move over.
To the right. You know, just, they want to see me. See.
Nobody wants to. They only want to see. Oh,
there you are. There you go. Yeah. She's wearing the shirt. You get those shirts at the Harvest House?
Nope.
Oh, you just made it yourself?
No, actually, Perpetua Advisors made this for us.
Nice.
Yes, they're awesome.
Well, it's a lot going on. And of course, you know, the fall is a busy time. And I was talking to some friends over at Promises, and they got certain things going on with them. And I wonder if y'all were having the same issues. Maybe not. You told me you had some big donations come through, which is very helpful.
For food.
Yeah, for food, right. We're going to talk about also food's great. Love it. We appreciate it, and we need it. But they don't take food at the electric company for the bills.
Right. Yeah, that's been an interesting trend that, you know, people are responding to our needs. And we also need to keep our doors open through operational funds, undesignated funds, basically.
Right.
So, like, in some areas we're about to send out our newsletter. Should be hitting the mailboxes in the next week. Super excited about that. But, you know, I talk about that and just how times are different, and just, you know, a lot of nonprofits are closing, like long time. Did you know City Square? I don't even know if you know who they are. City Square in Dallas.
Yeah, I know where you're talking about, the downtown area.
Yeah, they're closing. They have helped They've helped homeless, and they have a monster program. It's like a multi-million-dollar program. They've been around for, I think it was 38 years. And they are closing their doors at the end of the year.
Why? No money?
Financial.
Holy moly.
And there's an autism program just closed it's called Hope Center, I think is what the name of it was. They just closed after, I want to say like 30 years. And then there's another smaller, and it's an arts one, but still just as important for what they do. But they've been around for 14 years, and they're have closed their doors, or are trying not to close their doors. They're in a deficit of like 70,000. So like we have to be really careful that we stay in the black, you know, because man, you hit that red and we're making it month to month, but you know, we can't continue at this pace.
Yeah. I've been hearing about all these other places that are struggling hard as well. Read about them in the news, whatnot. Like the Tarrant County Food Bank and a couple other places are talking about how donations are strained. But before we get into all that,
you got to say something to your supporters.
I do.
And your sponsors. I was just about to say, don't you have to like say something to somebody? Because
I am. I'm going to talk about the sponsors, and hopefully they'll be.
I didn't forget. Hey, sponsors, I was just about to say something. Otto at our place and Gina's. I don't know. You want me to do it for you?
Well, Josh.
I'm just kidding.
No, go ahead. You do. No, I like it when the guests do that, because they have probably a better perspective, or a different perspective, you know. So if you would, Josh,
Southern Gem.
Roll the
our place is first. Look at me. I even like ESP'd it. So our place, great food. He just opened Gina's. I don't know if I can talk about Gina's.
Yeah, you can, sure.
Anyway, but Otto is a huge supporter. I hope Otto's listening. I'm going to give you a shout out. He's awesome. I mean, really, just for the nonprofits and just for our community. If you want high quality, excellent customer service, go to one of his places.
Well, I go to Gina's as much as I do our place now. I've been there both last week, and I really do like their sandwiches are great, but I do like their pizza. It's like, you know, sometimes I do have a hard time deciding which one. And I like the fact that you sit there and get a sub sandwich or a meatball sandwich or whatever, and a beer, and watch the ball game. That's a good thing. You know?
I went in there one night and picked it up. I mean, he delivers too, or you can get delivery. And but I went and picked it up, and they had Susie and the Sixes, and they're there twice a month now.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was just like an old school pizza place. I sat and talked to Otto. I'm like, this is such a cool feel, because it's like going back to the 80s, which I love the 80s. Can we go back?
You go back to the 80s, yeah.
Well, some things.
With Ronald Reagan, you bet you can. You know.
There were a lot of things really, well, that was my childhood. And so, man, did I love the 80s. And 70s. I guess it was the 70s too.
How about the next one? You know this group?
Wild Cigar. I cannot remember It's Nathan and
Chris.
I always forget Chris's name. I'm sorry, Chris. If I saw you, I'd know who you were.
Yeah.
But they are over off Hidden Creek, and they have like really great, fantastic cigars if you're a smoker of cigars. And they have charcuterie and other things. So they have a back patio. I had a meeting on the back patio once.
Yeah, that's a nice place.
It is a nice place to hang out. They're really good. Again, amazing community supporters. They love to give back and go support them so that they can stay in business too, because we all need business.
You bet we do.
And I'm sure that's hard, but I bet it's better now that they have like the cupcake place, next door and different things like that.
Well, it's interesting because that whole little community, if you will, over there of the small businesses like Roasted Beanery and there's a faux shop and stuff like that.
Mr. Pokey, not faux. Oh,
whatever
so
it is.
good.
All right, so they're all getting together
And
and
Casey's,
right. They're doing mutual marketing and stuff like
Nice.
that. Unfortunately, Doughboy is no longer there.
I know, I heard that, but I heard it was for health issues.
It is.
So I mean, I hope he's doing okay. And
I don't know all the story, but I'd heard that was an issue.
yeah,
And
so we just will pray for him. And wish
that's
him
all
the
I
best.
know. And but he was on the show about 6 months ago, and he brought a bunch of samples, and not good for my diabetes, but they sure
Man.
tasted great.
You gotta like sugar to eat those babies.
Yeah,
Okay,
right.
so who's next? Southern Gem?
Yeah.
Oh, Southern Gem. Right next door to Wild Cigar. Go over there and see Gayla Moores, and she will hook you up. She is so kind. You go in there, she cleans up all my jewelry, fixes my jewelry. Again, an amazing community supporter. So we just love Gayla, and we love Southern Gem. It is like high class.
It is.
It is very high class. Like, man, you're not getting in that door without getting buzzed in either. So
Yeah, it's not
just
like
be aware.
this isn't like a Jewish store at the mall at all.
No, and it's so, and she'll custom do stuff. She will fix it. She does all kinds of things.
And she has great help, I would imagine. Since
Your
my
wife, yes.
Yeah, okay.
Well, but she does.
Yeah.
They're all very kind when you get in there.
Yeah, it is. It's I've had a lot of people say they just like going there and sometimes just to browse because they
She
like
does
the
have like a
atmosphere.
little sitting area too.
Yes, for the men, so they can park themselves where the ladies go look and
Right.
not be rushed. I think it's a great idea.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. And up next, we have two maids. These ladies I actually watched at BNI, and they were talking about how, they come and clean your house. It's a family-owned business, and you pay what you feel like.
Well, it's the ladies get paid. I mean, they have a set fee.
Yeah.
But the ladies that do the cleaning, well, there's a couple of men too. They get paid based on the ratings. So that's what motivates them. Okay, it's not. It isn't like, well, okay,
Can't pay them $20.
Yeah, can't pay them. There's a set fee, but they get paid. The ladies get paid based on what your rating is.
Okay, well, I didn't understand.
Yeah,
So I got mixed up.
so-
So it's a good thing you're here.
Yeah, 817-764-0733 or twomaidscleaning.com/Burleson. Talk to Brenda. She's the one that runs it, or her brother Gerardo.
Yes.
Gerardo has like 7 or 8 different businesses. It
I
seems
think
like
I think it might even be more than that. When
Yeah.
he was talking, I was like, wow.
he has a bunch. Yeah, and
So-
this is one of them.
So they know what they're doing.
And if you want to talk Kansas City Chief football,
Oh, really?
Brenda's your person. I mean,
That's funny.
she loves the Chiefs. Okay, you want to try this one?
Pro Roofing, our local roofing specialists, and they are also great supporters of the community. So you got some good people on here.
That's exactly
And,
right. That's, yes.
there's only a couple of roofing companies that I would use in this area, and this is one of them.
This is one of
because
them,
I
yeah.
know the owners and I know the people. So you can just call John Williams over there, 817-734-2756.
He inspected my house 2 weeks ago, and so when it was raining yesterday and this morning, I had no problems. Because he said my roof was good to go. I didn't have to worry
Awesome.
about it. It's a bad
Very
time
good.
to find out you need a new roof when it's raining.
I know. So I have a roof up in Alaska that a tree fell on. It's got little holes in it.
Well, maybe John can run up to Alaska. I don't know.
Nah, I got a roof up there, but I got to tell you, I had to hire a roofer that I didn't know. That was very scary. It was
Yes.
so scary. I'm not lying, and even right now, I'm not there to have them fix it. And so there's something very good about knowing your roofer and knowing the quality, and that they're gonna back up their work. And that would be Old Pro Roofing
There you go. And
LLC.
I have one more.
And last but not least, oh my gosh, my neighbor,
Yeah.
Jeff Kelly. Oh, Jeff.
Yeah.
Actually, I got a really cool brochure yesterday. It kind of shared his life story and stuff like that. But he's an amazing human. Does a great job selling houses. He sold the house across the street from me just recently. he definitely knows what he's talking about. He's got, do you want me to just give him a cell number?
Yeah, the cell number.
817-781-0546.
And you have to tell him
It's
put
the Wethington Agency.
First time I had him on or had his ad on, I forgot that. He said, well.
The Wethington Agency.
The Wethington Agency.
Jeff Kelly for all of your real estate needs, because you really want a realtor who knows what they're doing. Jeff Kelly is one of them. Don't just go for anybody who's got their license, because if they don't have the experience to help you through a challenging purchase, which they all are, even the easy ones are hard. You want somebody who knows what they're doing, and Jeff Kelly is one of those guys.
Well, we'll be talking about the railroaders at the end, because I like to do their ads at the very end of the show. I have Kay Goodell on Thursday.
I could do the railroaders too.
Okay, you can do the railroads too. I know, because you already done.
Do I get paid for this?
And good feelings, community support.
Okay,
whatever.
well, I really love every one of those people. The only ones I don't really know are the two maids, but maybe I'll have to give them a shot, because my house, we just had it cleaned. We came home from vacation. It looks like,
Well, I'll tell you what, I'll send you the number, and then y'all can get together and work out a deal. One-time cleaning you can have.
Yeah.
Bi-monthly, bi-weekly. I always pitch this part of it is a lot of people use them for their parents. My mother needs help. She lives outside their service area, but still, there's a lot of us at BNI that either use them personally or use them for their family, or in a couple cases for both.
Oh, they also do commercial.
Right, they do the windmiller buildings. Yeah.
Forgot to mention that.
Oh, well, let's talk about Harvest House.
Oh, yes. Okay, I can talk a little more about Harvest House.
Yeah, which would you like to talk about first? The Power One? What's going on?
Definitely the Power One.
Okay, so if I recall, you're trying to raise money $1 at a time, right?
So it's $1, one purpose, one community, big change. Here's the back of my shirt. Can you see it?
Hey, it's wonderful. If that ain't a great ad, I don't know what is.
So it came about. I mean, I don't know if you've talked. I know you've heard me talk about it. I'm like, a dollar makes a difference. If you don't have a lot of money, you can give $1. And a lot of times.
Can I interrupt?
Yes.
Otto says, hey.
Hi, Otto.
Well, Otto's watching, says, hey. Okay. Go ahead.
But I think people don't realize that, because everybody's struggling. Well, that's not actually true. I've actually heard recently I actually was on a conversation with somebody who's like, I just don't understand what's going on, because it's basically this gap between the haves and the have-not. And I don't mean that any disrespectful way for people who have money, but people who are very secure financially aren't really feeling the effects of what's going on if you've got a good cushion. A lot, because I'm just hearing that people just don't understand. But those who are living paycheck to paycheck or in that kind of realm, and people who didn't realize they were so paycheck to paycheck, are really being impacted. So, and like I said before, giving is good. Right now, we're actually meeting our budget, but here's the thing. We're serving 45 to 50% more people than we budgeted for. So if we can't keep that up forever. So right now we're good, but if this continues that month after month, give me 2 more months and we're going to start seeing trouble. And so we came up with this campaign. Excuse me.
Oh, you all right?
I'm good. It's called The Power of One.
Whiskey in that thing or whatever?
No, I'll tell you about my teas later. But
okay.
That's my new fun thing. Anyway, so it's just that $1 helps a little, but if we all give a little, we can make a big change. And that is the slogan of this, is that you donate $1. Like if you already gave me, see, you and Taylor were the first ones to give $1.
And this is for me and for Josh.
Awesome. So we have $2 more.
All right.
So, but okay, so Josh gives me $1. Thanks, Josh. Brad gives me $1.
Yeah.
So $2, but he gave me $2 before for him and Taylor. So that's $4.
That's $4. That's twice as much.
It is, but think $1, I can probably buy a can of ravioli and feed somebody. They can have a meal. But now I can maybe actually buy a meal. Maybe I can buy meat now with $4, 1 pound.
Alex says, good morning.
Good morning, Alex.
He's going to be on the show in about a month. And
nice.
And he'll tell me not a darn thing, doggone him.
I know, right? He's the best. Man, Alex, if I ever have a secret, I'm going to tell you, because you're like a vault.
Yeah, no. All right. Well, anyway, I'm interrupted.
Anyway, so hi, everybody. So what we're doing, excuse me, why don't you say something first?
Okay, she's having a little issue here. She's trying to cut back to about 3 packs a day, and it's struggling a bit. And but anyway, the thing about the Power One deal is that, people think $1 isn't going to make a difference. And like she was just talking about, it does make a big difference, because you know, I always refer to this scriptural story about the widow's mites because you know what it seems like a small donation is really going to, if it adds up, is going to make a big deal. Plus, I do believe God will multiply it, much like
I agree.
loaves and fishes. I mean, it just seems like that these little smaller campaigns tend to work because, you know, people say, well, I don't have $10,000. I don't have $500 and whatever else. And they feel intimidated about giving. But they do have $10 or they do have $5
already some $1 monthly givers.
Well, that's
$12. I mean, who can't afford $12 a year? That's impactful. Like you may laugh and say, "Oh, you can do more than that." Well, great, do more than that if you can. But like even our clients can give us $1, and a lot of them do. We have people who receive food and things like that from us, and they will come back and give. So, Alex, can you tell me how many people are in our community right now? Is it 55,000?
I think yesterday Victoria said 51,000.
Okay, so let's just pretend everybody in Burleson gave $1. Every single person who lived here. Okay, that's $51,000. Well, now you think, so what we're going to do is we're going to have jars around the community. And we have a really cool selfie dollar to take your picture with. And we're going to pass that around to some of the businesses. And we're going to have some drive-through things at Walmart and City Market. We may have a third location. We're working on that. From August 2nd through August 9th. And it's just, we're asking everybody just to give $1 or the change in your pocket. And if you don't have $1 cash, you can do a QR code and give $1. You can give $10. You can give however much you want. But we are only asking for $1 or the change in your pocket because we want to, the ultimate goal here is, yes, the money, we need the money. But to show people how a little bit can change our entire community if everybody does their small part.
There's HEB has this deal where you go and you pay, and they said you want to round up, to give to the food bank or something like. I think it's Tarrant County Food Bank. You know, it's 48 cents on my part. Okay, sure, round up, whatever. Right. It's just 48 cents, but you do that a lot over the course of a day. You know, the number of customers that HEB has, that's going to add some serious money.
Absolutely.
You already have some of the businesses located that are going to be participating in this?
Otto has already said that both of his businesses will do it.
Yeah, there you go.
The resale store, we are actually, I know there's more. We have a huge long list, and we're going to be starting to pass them out. And we're hoping, we're going to just, some people we haven't even asked yet. We're just walking in with a jar and saying, hey, I know all the Pinnacle banks in Johnson County will have them. Tim, their district vice president, told me that they would put them up. So we're going to talk to, if you want a jar or a sign, because we can also just have a sign. I think, Josh, there is a sign with this. If you can find it, that just talks about that if you don't have necessarily
no,
people
that's
coming.
The brunch, Josh.
It's red.
One. Oh, okay.
It's okay, but it's the other one I sent with it. No big deal. But yeah, so this will be out throughout the community. You can go to our Facebook page and try to list them all. But honestly, I think we're going to have so many because everybody we've talked to has said yes. Rebecca Sutherland over at Rebecca's in Old Town has said yes already. I'm sure the brewery will.
Rebecca Strickland, you mean?
I meant Strickland.
Right,
Did I say Sutherland?
Yes, you thinking of Tim Sutherland over at the bank.
No, I wasn't. I just.
Oh,
I know it's Strickland. Sorry,
right.
Rebecca.
Yeah.
So there's going to be all over this community.
I know a couple places. Besides, I could contact Nathan. I'm quite sure they'll be glad to put a jar up there.
Yep. And then we've got churches. We're going to be asking them, and would they potentially do a love offering? Would they potentially just have it there to share? Because the whole goal is to say it's our 40th anniversary, first of all, and we're doing a lot of history learning, and that's kind of how part of this Power of One came from. Mike Wind, one of the directors, leads, presidents, whatever his exact title is at Perpetua Advisors. His father-in-law was the first president of Harvest House. He was essential in getting the group together. There were a number of them, but he was, it looks like on paper, it sounds like he was kind of the lead. We find the newspaper articles and stuff. And we're really starting to see, what it was all about. And it was all about the churches coming together to have a benevolence ministry so we weren't duplicating services. That was the whole goal. And, over time, some things have changed, and that's fine, but it's all got to be about collaboration and working together. And we're going to be sharing more about that. But that's where this comes from. It's like, as a community, Harvest House is intended to be here to help those who have the greatest need, the most vulnerable in our community. And as we grow and change and help provide more resources to restore families, we need financial backing for that. And we've got some amazing programs and different things coming up at the end of the year and into the next year. So we'll talk about that hopefully in a few minutes. But I'm going to stick on the Power of One. So this is August 2nd through the 9th. I think it's going to be, we're going to have a drive-through drop-off at Walmart in Burleson. I believe it's going to be August 2nd. And then the 9th, it will be at City Market. And then hopefully our third location will be either Monday or Wednesday.
Well, it's interesting because I know that you walk in the door, everybody's going to say yes, because the Harvest House has a tremendous reputation, not just for doing good work, but doing it the right way. And that makes a big difference. When people give their money, they're not just trying to help people, they're also showing their trust in you.
Right.
Because
absolutely.
Because they're showing trust in the fact that they know their money's going to be well spent, not frivolously thrown out the window, or, it's not like...
Right.
Not like you can get rich quick doing this for a living and that kind of thing.
Right.
So,
no, and I'll say, because I feel like there's an elephant in the room that only some people know about, but there were some financial challenges.
Challenges, that's a one way to put it.
Misuse, not necessarily, nobody did anything illegal, but there were some things that didn't go right. I don't know how many years ago, but a lot of people remember that. And so
I don't know that story, so I guess
I'm not going to share the story.
I wouldn't either.
But my point is, some people still know that. And I just want to say, if you're one of them, come and talk to me. I will show you our books. I will talk to you about how we spend our money, because I want to gain your trust back, because it's so important. We can't do what we do if people don't trust us. Trust is the essence of everything. And that's been one of the things, is transparency since I've been here. And we don't want anybody to wonder. We've had some problems, and I had somebody in the community one time. So they're like, well, we know these people are stealing, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, what are you talking about? Well, it turned out they knew something I didn't, but they were just bashing Harvest House. And I was like, but I didn't know. So when I finally got to the problem, we fixed it. But it was like, I had no idea. So I think just knowing that when you're working with an organization or something, if something isn't right, like you need to make sure leadership knows. So it can be addressed. Don't just bash it on Facebook and assume leadership knows.
Well, when I was a financial analyst 30-something years ago for Dun & Bradstreet, and I, among
Really?
my other...
That's interesting. Never depended you on that one.
Oh, well, that's how I met my wife, actually, back in the mid-'80s. Before I was a school teacher, I was a financial analyst.
Good days, mid-'80s.
And I had certain areas of Dallas, and I had mostly private enterprises, but I also had some nonprofits. And in private enterprises, you had to negotiate to get some information. You walk into a nonprofit, they were obligated by law to hand over information. I just walk in and say, hey, I'm with Dun & Bradstreet. Oh, here it is. And they just hand it right over, all the financials and whatever else.
Yep.
Complete cooperation. So it's the law, not just good manners,
Right.
For y'all to be as transparent. But I don't think anybody has any problem at Harvest House or any of these other places we talk about. They want you to know that your money is being well spent. They want people to know that it's being done with integrity.
Here's the thing: if they don't, or if they hold things back, you better just walk away.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of people who have not legitimate organizations or questionable. Look at their website. How transparent? Do you know who their board are? Do you know who they are? There's a lot you can learn, even if they're, we're Gold Star or Guide Star,
right?
Transparent, and that's great. But I've looked at some that are on there and they have like high rating, and I'm like, but I still want to look at your actual 990s. Do you actually have finances? Because there's a lot of steps you can take, but the numbers on there and stuff don't necessarily add up. So you just gotta, dig a little deeper.
Well, most of the ones that I dealt with, the nonprofits, some were bigger than Harvest House, some were about y'all size. They wanted the credit rating and all this other business. That's why I was there to assess was their credit worthiness, and they'd cough it right up. But if I had a couple that said, well, we'll get that to you, I said, no, that's not how this rolls. You're supposed to have them stacked by your receptionist desk, basically. And so what would happen is if they said, well, we'll get to you, whatever, would suspend that report. And that'd be a major red flag to anybody who wants to do credit business with them. Because y'all, I don't know how much credit business y'all do, but you still have a little bit. And also, but you have banking, you have insurance. That's also who used the product. And so, and things of that nature. So I don't think you have like a a whole lot of debt, but if you have a good credit rating, it sure is easier.
Yeah. No, and we really, I mean, our board is so, we work so hard to not use any debt, because like I said, I mean, that's the first step in a different direction that we don't want to go in.
It makes decisions for you.
Yeah.
And quite often you don't want to make them that way, but you have to. And if it cuts the interest alone, is that taken away from your services? Most of the nonprofits I know of avoid debt as best they can, but it's getting tougher.
Well, and it's all about what kind of backing, but whatever. So that's really what's behind this Power of One. So if anybody is interested in having a jar in their business, a sign, or are willing to just share, so next week we'll have the flyer on our website. Just share. And really, we are honestly just asking for $1. And
send us we have the material. I'll throw it in an ad rotation starting Thursday.
Okay. Great.
And so that
I do believe I sent it.
There's a couple of places I think would be very willing to do it. Maybe should call them out and put them on the spot, but like Fresco's would probably be a good place.
Yeah.
Because Otto and the manager there, whom I've never met, but everybody says is a good guy named Jaime. They said that he's community oriented and stuff like that.
Yeah, we're gonna hit up all the Old Town businesses and stuff. So we've got it separated by people. So
you go,
and we're just walking in with jars and saying, "Do you mind doing this?" Because it's a lot easier than. And we're gonna do it a couple days before, so they don't have to hide it and forget that they're putting it up, and so they can just put it out right then, and it'll just be for a week, and we'll pick it up on the 9th. So I think it'll be good.
Well, this will be a good thing because. You're telling me, or kind of referred to earlier in the show, your food situation is pretty good.
It's stable
It's stable. It's not like you're overflowing and need to rent out space somewhere, but you're keeping up.
Yeah.
But I was talking to my friends at Promises, and they're having a hard time keeping up. They're a smaller outfit than y'all. We just happened to get, we got a grant. We had a couple grants and stuff and a gift. Sherry Scott asked, do you still need jars?
Yes, we need 65 jars. They just posted it today. Like pickle-sized jars, not the really big ones, but the smaller ones.
Is that for the donations?
It's for the donations.
Okay.
We have stickers that go on them. And then it'll have a QR code. So if somebody doesn't have cash right then, they can QR code or put the cash in.
It's another thing is a lot of people don't carry cash. But I got cash just for this show today.
Thank you. But that's also why we have the QR code.
Yeah, I know, but I'm still old school. I still write checks occasionally.
I do too.
And my son still has the original checkbook he got when he turned like 17, got his own bank account, with little cowboys and Indians on it or something like that, or circus clowns or whatever. Funny. But, but what my friends at Promises say what they need is snack foods, cereal, peanut butter. What about y'all?
We always need spaghetti and noodles, spaghetti sauce, peanut butter, cereal. And right now, I mean, last I looked, I think they filled it up somewhat, but like it was weird, like canned beans. That was like a huge deal for us. We were just like out. I think we just had like garbanzo beans, which are fine if you know how to cook them.
And Taylor's listening from Nashville, making sure we don't talk bad about him. He says he's never written a check in his life. I have no doubt about that. Well, I have no doubt.
Generational thing. I mean, I have to. Like if I give something to the school, like I have to write a check or give cash. And can I tell you, I'm not giving them cash because we'll lose it.
Okay. Well, now you made me lose my train of thought. Oh, yeah. Anyway, well, here's a tip then on the pasta, the vast listening audience. Go to Sam's. You can get for $9, get 6 big boxes of that Barilla pasta.
Yep.
I mean, I bought it and it's enough to feed my family and a couple of friends. My daughter is always having friends come over. Today she's moving out though. And she's probably not listening, so yes. But anyway.
That's funny.
Well, it's been good, but she's happy to be moving to her own place. But the point is that you go there, and one of those big boxes of Barillas is like it is like maybe not $9, about $11, but you're getting like 6 boxes of it. And that easily is one meal, if not 2.
And we have a salvage license, so we can break that stuff down. So like if we get huge packages, we can break it down to a little bit smaller packages. A lot of things like that, rice, There are just a few things that are easy to do. Dog food.
Like cereal, the thing is, you buy cereal over at Sam's, it's like big boxes of Cheerios. Okay, that's great for one family, but don't you need like maybe smaller boxes of Cheerios?
Well, if you buy the big boxes at Sam's, there's actually like 2 or 3 bags inside.
Right.
So we just label the bags inside and take it out of the box.
Okay.
Because you have to label it. So we have to do that, but it just has to have all the ingredients and allergens and stuff on it. But we can do that. But we have a specific salvage license in order to do that.
Okay. You have to get specific license just to do that, huh?
Yep.
Well, but I just thought that's a really, pretty good deal. And then you go buy, SpaghettiOs, get a flat of those, and it's $12. And, the grocery store is kind of a brutal experience these days,
I don't really go to the grocery store. There's this thing called online shopping and free delivery.
Oh,
so,
my.
I mean, even I ordered something the other day, and I accidentally signed up for Walmart Plus a couple years ago, and I was like, I am never getting rid of this. But so I get free delivery, Paramount Plus. All right, well,
my wife likes to do the curbside service. I don't. I like to go in and pick out my own meat or vegetables or whatever else. And the thing is, but I'm not a shopper. I'm a getter. I get in that store and I zoom through there. Get out of my way, old lady. And that kind of thing.
Wow.
Hey, that's serious business in HEB.
I'm like, not in HEB. I'd be there for hours. Look at this.
No.
I'm let's try this. And I save so much money by ordering online. Anyway, so it's really easy to order on Amazon, Walmart, any place that delivers. And I actually had a question come up on Sunday. Somebody's like, well, it's a hard thing to get it delivered, with your hours. It's really not, because if we're not there, they just deliver it the next day during regular business hours. So it's not an issue.
Yes. On the deliveries, on a side note, you don't have a pickup service, do you?
What do you mean?
We have a desk that we want to give to Harvest House.
Occasionally.
Well,
it's not an advertised thing. Occasionally, we will evaluate it to see if we really feel like it will sell. If we think that it really will sell, sometimes we'll pick it up. We just don't have the manpower to do like mega pickups. But
this will sell because it's cheap, but it's in good shape and it didn't look all beat up. It's something that somebody have for a dorm room.
If you have something like that, you just email resale@yourharvesthouse.org and they will look at the picture and talk to you and evaluate whether we can pick it up or not. And
this would be great for like a dorm room or something like that.
Well, you should send that picture then.
Okay, we'll.
To resale@yourharvesthouse.org, not Jennifer.
Resale.
Resale.
Okay. Wait, we got a couple other things we're going to drop off and whatnot because, Sarah's moving out and she didn't need that desk anymore.
So that's another thing. So our resale store, oh my gosh, if you're getting ready for college, furniture, all kinds of things in there, housewares. We have been doing all kinds of inflation buster sales. We've lowered our prices on everything $1, like all our clothing items and stuff, just to try to help people through all of this. So go check it out. We have a lot of stuff that's brand new. Yes, some stuff gets by, but furniture kind of goes back and forth. If it's something that can be redone or things like that, or can be cleaned, I might put it out. But we really encourage you to go there and shop because it's a really good place to shop. But the thing is, if we don't have it today, you might check back tomorrow. This community gives us great stuff: jewelry, purses, shoes. A lot of times you get brand new shoes, you get brand new, all kinds of, I can't believe it. It's amazing. Well, I just cleaned up my parents' house and we just donated a bunch of stuff. It's in Alaska, but I'm thinking, man, this is how this happens. How we get all this amazing brand new stuff, because it's like, I don't want it. It'd be nice to sell it, but I just need to get rid of this. And
I got about 3 boxes of paperback books that my kids have, and I said they're going Saturday, one way or the other. And so, do y'all do stuff like that too?
We do.
I don't know what a lot of it's just it's literature, it's fiction. So I don't know I don't read fiction. So, but things like that. I think a lot of people, when they think resale, they think clothes or furniture. But
clothes, furniture, housewares. A lot of stuff that I love to shop in it because, it's cheaper. We have TVs. A lot of times they're older, but we check them, make sure everything works. If something doesn't work, you can check it out before you leave to make sure it works.
Well, we have it also. She may have a TV. It's a flat screen, but it's not the current one. It's probably about 8 or 9 years old. Still works.
Yeah.
So things like that. But
Please don't bring us broken TVs.
No.
Okay, and so here's another thing I just learned this weekend. In order for us to get rid of mattresses and furniture that's disgusting, that we really, because sometimes we get stuff that's like really, it's trash. It costs us $10 per item. So if you're donating junk, it actually costs us money
Do
to
people
get rid of it.
trying to dump their junk on y'all? Yeah,
Mattresses, because nobody can take it. It costs us even more to put it in our dumpster. And we just don't have the capacity to do it. And so it costs us about $10 per item to have it.
Well, I was going to ask you about that, because a lot of people think, well, this is, old junky piece of furniture. I can just give it to Harvest House and feel good about it, when it's not usable.
And we can't
just burn it,
Well, yeah. But where am I going to burn it? In the back behind Cece's?
Yeah. Well, we'll never, won't tell the difference.
I don't think Cece's would.
No, they
like
would. They would not care for that. Okay.
No,
they won't put a jar out for you then. Will they?
Probably.
Well, but I've seen, like, you go to drive by that Goodwill, and sometimes it looks like a dump yard. And it's very unorganized, and I don't think that's the whole
it's an
purpose.
organized mess.
It is.
But I mean, it happens to us too when we get overwhelmed. There's stuff we'd work as fast as we can. But I guess my point is, if you're shopping at the resale store, all those dollars go back into our operational costs, and try to help. So when our store does really well, then more of our dollars go to.
Well, your Harvest House, it says, we'll take the books.
Yep, he will go through them all.
All right, I'm going to tell my son and daughter. My son's coming down from Oklahoma City. We're having a little family get together. I say, go, you take the books you want, but the rest of them are going to the Harvest House.
Yes.
Because we're getting rid of all this stuff. I mean,
benefits us.
We got toys,
Oh, toys and little kid stuff, yes. And especially larger men stuff.
Well, I could see.
Like big and tall kind of guy.
Yeah.
You're not really in the big and tall.
No, but
section.
I'm big. I'm getting there.
And men,
my
but
shirts
see, here's the
bigger.
thing: men wear their clothes until they have holes in them, and they throw them away. Women trade them out all the time. So that's why you have so many more women's clothes. It's true.
Well, it is true, because these jeans, I've probably been wearing them since pre-COVID days or before.
Right.
And I'm wearing a pair of boots that I know are 20 years old.
Wow.
I have my daily boots, if you
And
will.
it's okay, but that's why we don't have as many men's clothes in the resale store. So the other stuff, what time is it? The other things we got going on.
Well, you have a meeting today, don't you? Is that right?
I do.
Oh, you still got some, do you have all the time
I
you
have
need?
time, but I want to get to the next topic.
Next topic is?
Harvest Brunch. It is our 40th anniversary, and we are inviting you to a complimentary brunch. We will have an opportunity to give, but we have sponsorships available if you scan the QR code. If you want information, you can email Amber C at your Harvest House. Really excited about this because we're really digging into our history, like I was talking about. We're trying to gather people. So if you're somebody from the beginning all the way through today that has been a part of Harvest House, we would love to have you there because we want to share the story of where Harvest House started, where it is now, and some of the places we're going in the next year. Some of the new programs we have coming that are going to really impact our community and clients for restoration, and we're really excited about. It's going to be at Pathway Church, and yeah.
They do a lot of stuff, don't they? It seems
sure
like either it's at Pathway or at First Baptist, and so...
They have great spaces. I mean, First United Methodist also has a really nice space. For us, this is across the street, so it makes it easier.
Oh, yeah, I guess that's true, yes. Pretty easy.
Yep. But, yeah, it's really going to be celebrating our 40th anniversary, talking about a lot of the impacts and stuff like that. So we're really excited about it.
It says RSVP by October 10th. Okay, so you get on there, so you need to be there on time, so not just show up because you don't want to waste the food. Yep. And that's always an issue.
Yep.
We got a breakfast at the Burleson Opportunity Fund coming up, and we have the same situation. We got to make sure we know how many people are coming. In fact, we have a meeting on Thursday, in a couple of days.
I'm glad you're on that.
Well, I am too.
Board.
It's a great board. Now, your kids, they're still in school, but are they getting closer to high school?
My daughter's a sophomore.
Okay, that's what I thought. I thought she's either freshman or sophomore. So a couple of years now, that might make a big difference.
Well, and I make sure that I support the Burleson Opportunity Fund because I do it every year. I think it's really important that all kids have an opportunity. I think we have this was such a brilliant idea, in my opinion. I believe it was Ken Shutter's idea.
It was.
And just to create something that makes this community extra special, it already is, but that gives some kids a chance that might not want to go to college. Maybe they want to go to college later. Just some really, I mean, it's college, but they can, there's so many opportunities here at Hill College, and now with Texas Wesleyan having classes and stuff like that, it's a really cool thing.
Yeah, as an instructor at Hill, I can tell you how many kids have gone to school on BOF money, and it helps them either get ahead or, a lot of the kids that think they have to go to college, it may only take like 6 hours at a time because they can't afford it otherwise. This helps them get it through sooner.
Yep.
But you were talking about a collaboration, you and the other two Lisa's are you talking about?
I know, me and the Lisas.
Yeah.
So just some of the stuff we're trying to do, part of this, the places that Harvest House is going, and we're working on some grant projects and stuff that I think it's important for the community to understand how much we collaborate. That we have our ultimate mission for Harvest House, for Center for ASD, for Crazy 8, is that people have a good life, that they have a quality life, that they have a restored life, that they have a full life. And whether it's providing jobs, whether it's providing volunteer opportunities, housing, education, whatever it is, Center for ASD, we're trying to find funding so that we can hire a lot of those participants, because a lot of places won't hire them. And we want to be a place that gives them an opportunity to do that. We want to make Burleson even, we think it's amazing, and we want to sustain that, and we want to make it even better and provide even greater opportunities. Last night at City Council, somebody was concerned about homelessness, and the reality is that's a big deal, and a lot of this comes out of that. And so it's just part of how do we make this community, how do we reach more people who really need our services? And that's what the collaborations are all about. Yeah.
That's one thing I've noticed sitting in this chair, is how tight this nonprofit community is.
It is.
And of course, we all know in a couple of months it's North Texas Giving Day. We're going to have all the people there. And we got a couple of additions. We're going to have your friend from Crowley House of Hope, Elizabeth's going to be here.
We work with Elizabeth. We work with Next Step with Megan and Summer, and we work with Wings of Hope with Teresa and Allison.
And they're going to be here too.
And I talked to, I shouldn't say, because we collaborate with them as well. It's just right now we're working on something specific.
Right.
But it's just, we can't do it alone because, Wings of Hope does something different. Next Step does something different. But we all have gaps, and our organizations can help fill those gaps. But it's all about us all having good funding and being strong organizations. So that's the bottom line. If we have to all be strong organizations to do that.
I just kind of wonder why Burleson's blessed like that, because not every community, in fact, most communities don't have this kind of networking going on. They may have a food pantry, or they may have something going on to help people, but not to this degree and not to this type of coverage, if you will. It seems like we got a lot of things covered that, Harvest House isn't equipped for unwed mothers or maybe young mothers or young families like Next Step is. And homeless, Lisa Schwartz got that kind of covered, and you got...
Well, Lisa Schwartz is not a homeless shelter.
No, not homeless. But she...
People think that. That's why I'm specifying.
I'll rephrase it. She's not a homeless shelter at all, but she does take people that are in housing distress and gives them a base to operate from and get jobs and whatever else, and
And she, they're actually changing, and their mission, not their mission, but their program a little bit, because right now what people need are affordable housing.
Right.
So they're transitioning at least one of their houses into affordable housing. It's not the same program, but it is.
She brought it up on her last show, and that they had to kind of alter the mission because of what we were talking about earlier. I mean, the money is tight for everybody.
Yeah.
And you talk about, people that with a cushion may not feel it. I don't consider myself a person with a lot of cushion, but I'm doing okay. I eat 3 times a day.
Right.
But
that's a big deal.
That's a big deal.
Eating 3 times a day and having a roof over your head with electricity and water on is a big deal.
Yeah, and that's how I look at it. I may not have a lot of fold money. I may not have money to go to, Cancun for a week or whatever, but I have my needs taken care of, and since I've been in this position, I realize just how many people don't.
Yeah.
And I need to be grateful for that. But we all feel the impact. good thing this summer is not as hot as it has been, because maybe your electric bill demands won't be quite as high.
They definitely will not be.
That's
the
a
last couple of weeks, but man, it's going to be a lot better.
But last summer was terrible.
Yes.
And I'm sure it was a strain on your budget. And hopefully, since it's been a little bit cooler and a little bit wetter, maybe they won't have quite the strain.
But see, the other part of that is we don't have as much money for financial assistance either. So we have, at a Harvest House, we have a percentage that goes directly to client services like that for financial aid. And we've had to cut that back because we have to be able to cover our operational costs like lights, water, things like that. And I'm telling you, we are really not spending on things that aren't needed. Like, we are being so frugal right now, and I don't feel bad about it. Everything's good, but like I said before, it just can't continue. So we're trying to go, okay, what are changes we can make, or what needs to happen? Part of that is bringing on more volunteers, and that's been happening. Amber, who the email on the brunch, she's our volunteer coordinator as well, and she has done a really good job. We've had a lot of people come on board. We're getting that piece more organized. I know if you've tried before, sometimes it's fallen by the wayside. But we've got somebody in there who's just doing an excellent job, making sure our people are getting responded to, getting them in the door for tours to see if this is the right fit for them. So it's a good way to get involved.
Well, you were talking about the last time, also another factor is that the government mandates about pay issues is also impacting on the budget.
Oh, yeah.
You were mentioning it, and it's already taken effect to some degree.
Half of it. So July 1st, there was an increase for exempt employees. So people who were exempt, if they were you can have salary exempt or salary non-exempt. And so we've had to move some of our salary exempt people to salary non-exempt because it jumped 15,000, I think between, let's see, I'm trying to remember. It was like 10 to 15,000 now, and then it goes up even more in January. And like I feel like it's like 20,000 a person. And it's like, okay, my goal since I came to Harvest House, and it has been working every year.
Yes, your friends.
There you go. 58,565 is the minimum for an exempt employee starting January 1st. It used to be 35,000. So from 35,000 to 58. And I'm not saying it's wrong or right. I'm just saying give us more than 6 months notice, because I think we learned about it in April. And so all of a sudden it's like, oh my gosh, what are we going to do? People who we had job changes and different things, we had to say, sorry, we can't do that anymore because, we didn't have to fire anybody, but it definitely changed what we're going to do. And we do have some exempt employees that there are some jobs that are really hard to be hourly, like my job. It's really hard for me to say, okay, I'm going to work 8 to 5, which is why they have that exemption.
You're another response from Harvest House?
Thanks, Garrett.
Yeah.
Yes. So, so it went from 35,000 to 43,800, and then in January it's going up to 58,500 in 6 months.
Thank you, Joe. The last party gift.
Really hard. And, if you say, okay, in 2 years or even in a year, this is what you have to do, it gives you a moment. But we had 2 months to figure out what we're going to do in a time when donations are down. And this is not just for nonprofits. This is labor. This is just the labor department.
Yeah, right.
So you just have to be careful. There's so many things impacting organizations. So I say this a lot, and I'm going to say it again. If you love an organization, what they do, hopefully it's Harvest House. But if it's not, give to them to their general operating fund. Because if it's in their general operating fund, they can use it for program, they can use it for food, they can use it for scholarships like the Center for ASD, or they can use it for housing like Crazy 8, or Next Step, they can use it. And by the way, Next Step does have their Christmas in July on Saturday.
Right.
I can't remember what time, but go check it out and bring brand new baby things to them. Okay. That was my side note.
I was going to mention that at the tail end, which...
Okay, good. Sorry.
No, that's fine. Just a minute, Josh, if you could go through the archives and see if you find Christmas in July for Next Step. This poor boy, we're just keeping him busy.
It's all right.
All right.
That's why he makes the big bucks.
That's
we're
all.
doing great.
All right. Well, we have about a few more minutes. So I don't want to run you out, but I don't want to make you late for meeting.
I have about 10 minutes.
10 minutes, okay. They're all yours. Except for, I do want to talk about the railroaders. I'm going to have Kay Goodell on Thursday morning. We'll be on at 9. She didn't live very far from here, so I didn't think it would be a good idea to make her drive to Cleveland and drive back for 11 o'clock. Right. So, that's a lot of traffic. So, she's going to come on and, and she's been very helpful to y'all's communities.
Yes. And so right now, and they, I know the animal shelter, you'll just have to look at their calendar, but they have days that are just for nonprofits. The thing I want people to understand, though, is you have to use the link that the nonprofit is sharing. If you just buy a ticket to that game, it doesn't help them at all. You have to use the link for their nonprofit.
Right.
We just had that. We had a very successful event. I can't remember how much we made. It was over $100 at $5 each.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of people got confused. So that's why because I know we had a whole section of people who bought tickets, but it wasn't through our link. And so you just have to know that.
I will be stressing that on Thursday morning. I'm trying to remember, they do have in the next homestand, they have somebody, but it's escaped my memory. Okay, here you are.
Randy Rogers.
Right, but that's after the season.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
No, but
I thought it was after the season. Kay will straighten me out.
Yeah.
Whatever. We'll have her on and she'll talk about this stuff going on. I know they did it they had a special night for y'all.
Did,
Crazy Eights. They did for
Next Step,
House of Hope. They did first responders and all that. So,
I think they're going to continue it, and this was like their first year doing it. So there was a little confusion, but there's ways to fix it for next year, and she was super open to ideas. And I just love that they're saying we want to be a part of the community, and it's great.
And the baseball's good, so it's not like
it was fun.
Watching
I guess they're in first place.
Softball.
I heard they were in first place.
I believe
in
they
their
are.
league. So very fun. Very fun just to go to the games.
And it's kid friendly because I was talking to Victoria
100%.
yesterday, and they go to the games, and and her little kids aren't paying a whole lot of attention to the ball game. They're little bitty.
They have like all this room for the kids to run, and
burn off some of that energy.
they have bounce houses and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, they got it going on over there, don't they?
Yeah, they do, and I really appreciate it.
Well, you got the last of the show, so tell us everything we need to know.
Okay, so just a reminder: Power of One starts next Friday, so be watching for places to give. If you want to put that back up, with the QR code, you can give now.
There it is.
It's sort of like North Texas Giving Day. You can give today, but you can wait if you want to. And then there'll be jars all around town. Please think about bringing your
You'll take even
dollar.
quarters and dimes, right?
Pennies even, like what money do you have in your thing? And if you went to the 4th of July parade, we handed out coin bags that said Power of One, and we were just encouraging you to put your change in there and drop it off at Harvest House. Just as a reminder, because a lot of times we have money in our cars, you just drop it. Oh, I got 50 cents. Just throw that in the change jar instead and drop it off at Harvest House. So fill it up. And then I think we're going to be ordering more so we can give you a new one when you leave. So it's, just trying to think of some fun ways to keep how the little bit makes a huge difference.
It does.
And that's for our whole world, whether it's, we're coming into, I want to go into politics for a second. We're coming to our election season.
Go ahead.
And we as humans have the opportunity to be kind and loving or to be divisive. It's going to be rough. I mean, let's just all look at it, and this is going to be rough. This is even maybe harder than 2016.
I think so too. I'm enjoying this.
It's unprecedented, and we can ruin relationships, or we can love each other and understand that God. This is what somebody used to say. We all have different beliefs. God gave us a mind to use it, and we use them differently. And so we just need to be kind to each other. So regardless of politics, don't let it ruin families. Don't let it ruin friendships. Just, sometimes you just don't talk about it. I mean, let's just be real. Sometimes if you can't have a kind conversation, sometimes it's just better not to.
Well, I'm fortunate because I have about 5 or 6 Democrat friends that I kind of use as a sounding board about all of this. And, and they're rational people. They're not, off the chain or anything like that. And so I use that because I'm more conservative than some of them. But none of my Democrat friends I would call radical in any sense of the word.
But I think when we start using the words like us and them, whether it's at Harvest House and we're saying, oh, our clients, them or us, and there's a superiority on both sides. I heard the Democratic Speaker of the House, whatever his title is.
You talking about the Speaker of the House? He's a Republican, Mike Johnson.
Well, there was some other guy. Anyway, some Democratic leader. Sorry, I'm not really into politics. You can tell that now. But just even the words, I was like, wow, and I'm not pointing fingers at him. But like we all do that. We're like, oh, them and us. And as soon as we do that, sorry, Brad.
It's all right.
You know, it divides, and we just need to be kind.
Well,
That's all I got.
I'm fortunate that I have good friends that you can
have civil discourse with?
Very much so. And one gentleman I really do miss, my old friend Grant Wittenberg, because we'd have very good conversations, and we did not agree on politics very often at all. But it was never harsh or brutal, and I gave him a lot of credit for that because of the type of person he is. There's several others like that, but.
So it's interesting. I went to an environmental liberal arts school in northern Wisconsin, and I was one of 5 I'm pretty moderate, but for that area, I was very conservative, you know, and we used to have really great conversations, and it helped me to know what I believed more, and it helped me to, I think, grow as a better person and become less judgmental, and because I can be very critical and judgmental. What
did it for me was my teaching career, because I saw the impacts of policy, and it kind of takes some of the hard edges of ideology off you.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I'm still pretty conservative, but I'm not like libertarian or
I think I'm a pretty solid independent. If you really want to know, I like my dad and I were talking. He's like, "You just sound like an independent." And I'm like, "Yeah, I really am, because I am not here and I'm not there, because I just want to love people and I just can't take a side. Well,
Thursday after the show with Kay, I'm going to do a 15, 20-minute segment about what's been going on with the election and all that. I did one Sunday right after Joe Biden dropped out. And this is kind of like an epilogue to that, or part 2, because things have been going on, and you know, and that's a good thing, because what you said. I really appreciate what you said, because this community does not need to be divided by Trump versus now Harris, I suppose. And, you know, we don't need that in our communities. And we surely don't need that to impact our nonprofits. And
right.
So that's why all the nonprofit people I know are strictly neutral when they come on this show.
Well, but I mean, I truly am. And it's just, you know, and you need to, because we are not political organizations. If we were, we really can't talk politics. We can't do those things. Illegal for us to.
Right.
Unless you're a political nonprofit, and then there's all kinds of rules. We are not that. And so Harvest House is there for everybody. I don't care if you're a drug addict. I don't care if you're trans, bi, LGBTQ. I don't care if you're an alcoholic. I don't care if you're super rich and lost your job and now you're, you know, in a rough spot. I don't care where you came from. We don't care if you have a different religion. We want you to feel loved when you come to Harvest House. And we are imperfect. Sometimes people say that we didn't treat them as nice as we could. Sometimes we have really hard days too when it's so busy.
Well, the thing about it is a lot of these, the majority of these are faith-based, but nobody out there should think that, well, I'm not of that faith, or I'm not an active participant in that faith, therefore I'm not eligible. Because, Next Step goes to great pains to make sure that everybody is welcome.
Yep.
You know, they are faith-based, and everybody should know that, but they don't make you conform to their vision.
That's how we are. You know, if you want spiritual help and prayer, we'll give it to you. If you don't, we'll pray for you on the way out the door, not with you. So. Well,
and so Lisa's the same way over at Crazy 8, and Promises the same way, Debbie, and we're blessed. And
we're very blessed with the great community.
And you're part of that blessing.
Well, thank you.
You know, and I hope this Power One does really well. I'm sure you have the 19th all scheduled. We're going to have like 15 people on the 19th of September.
Is it on my calendar? At what time?
North Texas Giving Day.
I know, but do we have it on the calendar yet?
I put it on the calendar.
Well, let's just make sure.
Yeah.
I think it is. I think we talked about this last time, and I think, oh, yes, I did there.
It's going to be a longer show, but that's fine.
I don't have a time, though. I do need a time.
Well, I was going to maybe think about doing it at 10, because it's going to be, like I said, besides y'all, there's like 8 last year. There's going to be about 3 or 4 more this year.
Interesting. Who's coming on?
House of Hope.
Oh, good.
Teresa over at Wings of Hope. Sandy Mason, the American Legion.
Oh, cool.
And I believe the Amanda Mann Clark Project. You know, I've heard of them. They do colorectal research funding. They're going to be on in early August, and they had a fundraiser and all that. Amanda Mann Clark was a woman who died of colorectal cancer, and her friends got together and
That's really
put together a organization to raise money for colorectal research and colonoscopies and things like that. So
that's awesome.
yeah,
so important.
Yeah, it really is. And
Nobody wants to talk about it, but
no,
yeah,
but
it's so important.
It's funny because they're all three of these ladies that run it are nurses, and they just talk about it like about poop, just like you would talk about the weather, and it cracks me up, because they're all nurses. They've seen it.
It's just like the weather.
Just like the weather. And when so when we talk about crappy weather, anyway, I gotta go.
Well, so I have my last minute, and then I gotta go. But we have our harvest brunch. Go ahead and you can sign up now with the QR code that Josh is about to post again. The invitation right there, that QR code will go. You can do sponsorships through that, and you can just RSVP. We just have one QR code going to the same place, so just scroll down for what you need. It's going to be amazing.
It is.
Because Brad's going to be. Were you there last year, Brad?
Now you had it middle of my classes.
Oh, that's right. November 7th this year.
Okay, but last time you did it, I had a class. And there's
also this little thing called a parade that happened that day. World Series parade happened at the exact same time.
Oh, okay.
So we lost a few people to that, but
no, I was
it was really good.
This fall, my schedule will allow it more.
Good.
I'll have to maybe come early to do a show, but that's easy enough done. But last time I had class, and it seems like y'all see my school schedule and schedule these things. The next step thing was on a Tuesday night, which I had a class on. But it reminds me, next step, Saturday, Christmas in July, I believe it's from 10 to 12, and you drive by and you drop off a new toy. Not a used one now.
Nope, all brand new.
From infant to about 4, roughly.
Oh, there it is.
See.
9 to 11.
9 to 11, okay.
And Summer Santa's going to be there. The Burleson Summer Santa.
See, old Josh here has been well trained by Taylor. Just pop, load these things. All righty. Thank you, Josh, for pinching in for us.
And you get a free snow cone if you bring something.
Okay. All right. Like I said, 9 o'clock, we have Kay Goodell. And then next week, I want to see what I have next week because I say, I got this and I got that. And then I end up, not the ESPN app, the other one right beside it. Okay. I have Colin Gregory on.
Oh.
And then I have an open date on the 30th. I may save that one, but I may have an open date. And I have an open date on the 1st of August. So I don't know what I'll do then. Maybe I'll just rant and rave. That's always in fun. Who's texting me? Oh, okay. Just people don't seem to understand I'm on the air, dadgum.
So here's one number I want to leave you with because I need to go. But we have had 25,000 assistances this year for 7,800 families. So that means, I remember my first year, I think we had 17,000 assistances for the year. We're at 25,000 in July.
That's good.
So it is good because we're able to be there, but it's just helping people understand we really need just undesignated funds so that we can make sure we're here.
Well, I appreciate what you do. And
appreciate you letting me come on. I tried to get Garrett to come with me, but he had to work.
Okay. Well, I'll see Jimmy tomorrow at the B&I meeting.
Oh, he's out of town.
That's right. He's done another camp. That's right. He was telling us last week.
Yeah.
Well, he's really fit in really well.
He's so fun.
Well, he just fit in right in with our group. We're an easy group to get along with anyway. But he just really is already become part of the gang, so to speak.
I love it. That's so good.
Josh, thanks for all your help for the hitting here. Well, Taylor will be back Thursday morning, and he'll be telling us all about his great trip to Nashville.
Nice.
All right, I'll talk to y'all later.
Thank you.
A call from Darlington.